out of nothing. Ella Hilliard did really well to get back in and cover it, but then allowed the room for the shot, and Poppy Kelly, with that technical ability we've mentioned, finds the bottom corner, and it's 3-2 Exeter. Louis.
Yeah, we saw the diagonal pass there. That's happened a couple of times in the last phase of play where it's just cut right through the team. But I think this time the thing about that was the early strike, the toe poke finish, and it just caught the goalkeeper out, gave her no chance.
Yeah, it's a really, really good finish from Poppy Kelly. Somebody we've seen already and we've mentioned is a real heartbeat of this Exeter team. And she's helped herself to a second goal, first from the spot, and then a really good finish for that second one. Hilliard does well, great feet, but it's cut out in the end. Rahouse looks left, and come forward with Tamsin Dunn. She does well. She finds Kelly again. Kelly with space, looking for that shot. Well, she's in the mood for it now.
Yeah, she showed her quality there. I think that was a good decision by the goalkeeper, rather than trying to catch that, just get it out of the danger zone. Kelly's starting to like this caught up at the moment, Matt.
She is. She's really the threat, isn't she? Derby have to find a way of getting hold of her. Another shot from Kelly, and again, Jess Clark does really well. Exeter timeout. Early one, looking to set something up maybe on this. I'm quite surprised by that to myself because they're on top in the game, but obviously have a set piece they want to work through.
Yeah, just going back to what we were seeing there. I think on that last corner there was literally no pressure on Kelly. You know, she was allowed to get that shot off, and if you're going to do that, eventually something's going to happen there. And I think they just need to get more pressure on her, because her shooting power is looking good, and she's found the target 2 or 3 of her last shots. So I think they have to be really careful of her.
We've seen early on, haven't we, that Poppy Kelly has a shot in her, also has a lot of ability in terms of her 1v1 attributes as well. Will look to go either way, so important defensively that they just hold firm, hold true, and they'll go forward with it. Two coaches here, what do you think the messages will be? Obviously Exeter looking to set something up on a set play, gives Hannah Roberts a good chance to hopefully regroup her team.
Yeah, well, firstly, Matt, just apologies. I think there was a loss of sound a little bit earlier in the commentary, but hopefully you can hear us fine now. And just to answer your question, I think you're right. Exeter probably want to have a look at this set piece, and maybe they've spotted something. And I think just for Derby, it gives them an opportunity just to maybe press a reset button here in terms of how they're dealing out of possession.
Back to the fix for House from the corner, and Nottingham immediately out to engage. Hilliard engages Kelly. A little bit better, not giving her that room. Into O'Neill. Her and Humphrey battle. Humphrey does well, and the ball breaks to Hilliard. That was better from Derby, the way they defended that one. Here's Nottingham. Looks for Holster in the centre, cut out. O'Neill comes forward, finds Kelly. Great save, Jazz Clark, well done. Really good move again from Exeter. And they keep it alive. Here's Kelly. Used to go 1v1, Holstrom does well, holds her up. But she still keeps the ball, great feet. Another good stop from Jazz Clark. She's a threat, isn't she?
I mean, they're having to double up on her now, and even that occasion had to treble up on her. She's a very, very dangerous player. But it was a careless pass from Derby that gave possession. They played a pass into the middle, got intercepted. They just have to be really careful now, Derby.
Dunn with the corner, looks back for Rahouse. Rahouse back into Dunn. Simple into the pivot, she does well, turns. Nottingham does well to come back and cover. Derby recover the ball. Here's Holstrom, looks left, really clever diagonal pass. Hilliard just can't get on the end of it.
Yeah, I think those are the sort of passes that they will open the game at the diagonal pass, which shift their defence and gives an opportunity then to break into that final third.
It's great feet. Dunn comes forward again. Hilliard does well. She'll drive forward now on her left foot. Looks for Nottingham in that left-hand side. Rahouse does well to cover and immediately looks to play forwards. Ball out of play, just a loose pass.
Yeah, that was another promising move there for Derby, but they just really need to commit players. Once they play that forward pass, just continue a run and try and get onto the second post.
Here's Humphrey coming forward over halfway. Heavy touch, does well. Gets a strike away. And it's a great stop from Eleanor Pearce in the Exeter goal. She got away with that one. Heavy touch. Did well to get through the challenge. Is Hilliard. Slight miss kick maybe. They keep it alive. Back to Humphrey. She'll look to shoot again. Well blocked. Now Derby looking to build some pressure. Here's Holstrom again. Good feet. Humphrey on halfway. Nice ball into Nottingham. Good shot. Pearce able to save. And she'll immediately look forwards. Humphrey read that though and intercepts. Great strike. Keeper spills it. Does well to recover the rebound. Better moments for Derby.
Yeah, I think definitely, Matt. But I think that shooting from the halfway line is, I think that is something that I'll break off.
Was good effort. Rouse in on that sort of overlap on that diagonal pass with a great opportunity. And again, Jazz Clark at the moment, when called upon, keeping Derby in it.
Yeah, she's playing her part to keep this game within reach for Derby. The point I was going to make, Matt, was some of the shots from the halfway line there. I think they're just too easy for the keeper. They have too much time to get themselves in position to save it. And on that shot, even if the goalkeeper had spilled it, there was no one within distance to put it in.
That's right, yeah. You talk about finishing triangles almost, don't you, and going attacking the post whenever somebody's taking a shot, and be ready and almost be ready for every eventuality. And not quite there. Foul there on Humphrey though, and Derby have a chance to build. Lockley takes it back to her captain. Here is Lockley again. And here's Holstrom. Just nice ball, parallel ball down the line. Looks for Hilliard. She'll hold the ball up, but again, nothing really inside the court, so forced to just hold it. It does well to win a kick in.
Yeah, again, we just saw there, Matt, on that initial phase, the ball goes down the line and 3 on that side. The fix is on the halfway line, so even if they do get it across, there is just no one there.
And here comes Kelly again, alert, alive. Drives forward, looks for the pass. Humphrey this time does well to defend it. And immediately you see on that turnover a player, as soon as the ball is in goalkeeper Pearce's hand, 2 or 3 Exeter players flooding forward, Louis. They're reading that as a sign that they're probably more alert than Derby in those situations, aren't they?
Yeah, as soon as Kelly broke forward, I think it was Chloe Whitworth was on the edge of the D there.
Here's Brett, really nice turn. She's in again, and she scores again. Emily Brett grabs her hat-trick. Only just back onto court, Derby's number 10. And just like that, really smart turn, not dissimilar to her first goal. Does really well to ride the second challenge and just toes the ball home. 3-3.
Yeah, it just shows you some really simple, basic futsal there, but sometimes basic is best. And it's a really good finish. And also, there's a bit of insurance. They did have a player on the second post there, Matt, on that occasion.
Brett again does really well, strong in the challenge. A bit over exuberant maybe, and referee Will Thompson just have a word with Emily Brett there. The football maybe perhaps coming out in her there. Brett prone to those kind of challenges, and main player on main player in one of those situations where she's probably thought, well, I'm going to take this battle to Poppy Kelly myself.
Yeah, I think we need to also remember that a lot of these students are dual tracking with football and futsal, so it's hard to knock that out of you sometimes.
Here's Lockley, does well, waits for Brett's support. Good challenge from Rahouse, and it's goal clearance as well. Immediately look forward long, but it's straight through to goalkeeper Clark, and she'll look to restart the game with Hilliard. Hilliard into Brett. Brett does well, as does Rahouse though, and the ball runs out of play. Derby this time looking to build quite quickly and go forwards, but Exeter alert to it.
Yeah, I really like the look of Emily Brett. She's got obviously technically very good, but she's got a physical presence about her as well, Matt. You can feel that she's on the court there.
Yeah, really good pivot. Somebody who's played futsal at Bucks level for the last couple of seasons. Played professional football abroad in Iceland earlier in her career, and currently studying a PhD in performance analysis. She's somebody who broke into the Derby NFS team as well this year, promotion winning Tier 2 side, and she's made an impact on that mark, scoring a number of crucial goals across our run this season. Here she is again. This time Rahouse does really well. I think that's going to be the key for Exeter, isn't it? Can they shut her down quickly? Because anything within 10 metres of goal, she's a goal threat.
Yeah, and I've just been watching her movement off the ball as well. She's a really difficult player to track around the court.
Corner defended well by Exeter. Runs out for another Derby kick in.
On that last phase of play, she really stretched the play into the corner, got the verticality, and then she made a great run in behind the fix and then received it on the opposite side. Yeah, really great movement from her.
Here she is again. Looking to pin, really good turn. This time doesn't catch a shot, and Pearce is able to get down well, but again, really, really good textbook pivot play from Brett.
Yeah, she seems a player who's really happy to have that physical engagement. She wants that to be able to turn the fix.
She does well, and luckily this time looking to get a shot away. Kelly does well to recover after giving the ball away. Yeah, it's part of her game. That's something we've really developed across the course of the season, is going in and playing with her back to goal. Naturally a football forward who will run off the shoulder, so something that she added to her game, but I think it's benefited her in a football career as well. Really powerful forward-minded player, and again that diagonal ball just running away.
And then just out of possession there, she tracked Amelia Rahaus all the way back there. Great tracking run and had her in the sights all the time. Great athlete.
And Derby really not disguising now, Lou, that tactic when she's on court, looking to go into her very early on and looking to play off her. Was trying to get more support in and around her as well with Lockley on court, playing probably a little bit higher in possession than what some of the other wingers have been playing.
I think one of the challenges for Derby's coach, Hannah Roberts, is how much time can I get her on court?
Exeter with a chance to break. Humphrey does well to delay the attack, but they've still got it, Exeter. Blocked by Brett. Another shot from halfway, blocked by her own teammate from Lily Rockwell then. But Exeter maintain possession. Number 5 is Chan Cody. She keeps it, and Exeter keeping the move alive, but Derby do well.
Yeah, I think there was possibly a better option just to the left-hand side in that last attack for Exeter, but decided to go with the shot.
They get the corner anyway, and immediately look back deeper into the court. We've seen that a few times from them. Seems to be their preferred option. Derby happy to just let them play down the side, and Brett waits for the mistake, and Derby regain possession with the kicking. It's an unusual one, isn't it? That corner routine, almost opting to maintain possession rather than threaten with it.
Yeah, I think both teams have shown they're quite dangerous on transitions, Matt. So probably not a bad option at this stage of the game.
Again, Brett does well. Something of a ball down a blind corridor from Humphrey, and Brett manages to keep it alive, and those two players will be over this kick in. Humphrey out of her feet, looks for the shot, good save. Again, opened up, similar to the free kick, not really any setup from Exeter, and it opened up for them, didn't it?
Well, I mean, although it's quite a basic kick in, it's something that is successful, Matt, isn't it? And over the years, teams just don't stop it.
There is Brett again. Defender does really, really well. Lily Rockwell there, just almost hanging on to her. Manages to get some sort of touch on it. Derby looking to go early, and this time Humphrey whistles wide. It's a goal clearance.
Yeah, this game seems to be going in phases a lot, Matt, doesn't it? Derby have a bit of success, and then it's Exeter, and then it comes back.
It's interesting. This is probably the first time in the game for Exeter, Louis, that we've seen Rahaus, especially their captain, and Kelly off court. So no surprise, perhaps, that Derby are on top. Another Exeter foul, and this around just over the halfway line. Derby with a chance maybe to build something from this set piece. Again, immediately looks into Brett, plays it off for Humphrey. Good strike. Brett's alert. There we go. Her 4th of the game, and Derby lead again. She was more alive than anybody else in the area, and Emily Brett grabs her 4th and her team's 4th of the game as Derby grasped the lead with 15 minutes gone in this first half.
Yeah, they got there in the end on that set piece. The idea was good. I think the set there wasn't the best, but followed through, got the shot, and a great finish again.
Now Exeter with work to do to respond. Clark just got herself in a little bit of a mess there. Gets away with one though. Here's Humphrey. Gittins. A little bit isolated. Does well.
Yeah, she didn't have the support there on the right-hand side. It just saw that, made the run a little bit too late. And I think that's what players need to be really aware of. How do I support my teammate on the ball? Where do they need that support? And be really aware of that and react quickly.
Exeter with a chance to come forward here, but shot from wide only lands in Clark's hands and immediately looks for Brett, who was alive and alert, but a touch this time. Just perhaps moving too quickly to control that properly, and ball runs out of play. But again, Derby looking to be positive in transition. Rockwell takes the kick in, and the ball finds its way out to the right-hand side, and Whitworth. Exeter kick in. Referee just asking for the ball to be placed on the right line there. Very confusing over that sign with 2 or 3 very close together. Nice ball round the corner, intercepted well from Lockley. Derby have possession back with Humphrey, the captain. She looks to drive forward. Looks for Bratt with that give and go. Again, just that return ball, not quite there, Louis. But really good ideas from Derby.
Yeah, and I think Humphrey's changed her approach slightly now, hasn't she? She's receiving that ball, playing the pass, and then driving forward, which personally as a coach, that's what I really like to see a fix do, because then I think, you know, you're bringing them into play, the wings are an option then, and it just opens up the whole game.
It's a major strength as a player for her, actually. I like to tell her all the time that's, for me, her super strength is she reads the game really well, but she's very explosive in her running off the ball, and she possesses a fierce strike with either foot. So if she can look to play into a pivot and play off, and look to utilise the moments when to go and do that, she's somebody who can be a real threat in this game as well. Perhaps she's actually been ill probably the last 24-48 hours, perhaps had a bearing and a start to this game, but a real key cog of what Derby do.
Matt, just how far are we away from seeing what Derby have done in their regular league season to what we're seeing this morning in this game?
In terms of this team, so I think it's a program that's really developing. It's still quite young in terms of development. They've probably been successful ahead of where we need to be with it, and we never expected to be challenging for promotion and be in a Books Trophy final this year. So they've done exceptionally well as Humphrey strikes the post. Derby tried to keep the move alive, but I think what they've found is over the season, as they've sort of grown into it, they've grown in confidence. I think today there's probably a little bit of nerves just crept into the way they've played, but certainly you're seeing now, as they've settled into the game, there's a few more of the players around Emily Brett, who's a very experienced footballer, by the way, played, as we said, at a good level, probably settled quicker than anybody else, but as the others have settled, they're starting to grow into the style of play that you will see from them. Quite fast, energetic, and very direct. It's a really good long ball there. The ball breaks, and Holly Reid just couldn't get a bearings, could she? Strikes wide. Derby get away with one. Again, looking to go forward straight away with Lockley.
Tremendous throw into the pivot there, and as you say, did everything right, but the finish just slightly away from where she wanted it to be.
Here is Lockley, nice back heel, but intercepted well by Kelly. Gittins does well to win that. But Exeter move forwards again, and it's that player, once again, Emily Brett, back in to support her team and just clearing her lines, happy to just rebuild and get their shape back almost defensively.
Yeah, I get the feeling now the longer Emily Brett is on this court, it's much better for Derby.
Again, it's Kelly intercepting the pass forward to Brett, loose pass, and she immediately drives forward. Very, very simple for her there, no one really engaging. Ends in Jazz Clark's arms, fortunately for Derby. Here's Humphrey once again. Gittins.
Cheyenne Coakley there was in the middle of the court there on the edge of the D and missed that pass.
Lockley gets caught. But again, perhaps a better option there for Coakley, just to square that ball. Opts for the shot, and it ends in the keeper's arms. Derby with possession. That's those fine margins, isn't it? decision making in those situations that you see as players become more experienced in this game, Louis. Here is Coakley, lovely return ball. Good effort, flashes wide. Probably Exeter's best moment for a good phase, good period of time in this game, probably 3-4 minutes.
Yeah,
Holly Reid's
managed to pass their way through Derby there quite easily, but again, lacking a second post run there, Matt.
Lockley looking for Hilliard down the line, but left-footed Hilliard didn't quite want that. This time that give and go with Humphrey. There we go, Derby's fifth. Well, we spoke about it previously, didn't we? Eleanor Humphrey looking for that give and go off her pivot, and she strikes to atone for a earlier error. The captain grabs her goal, and Derby have a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to be really much more effective, Matt, from what I'm seeing this morning anyway. That, you know, that's certainly going to be one of the keys to success if they're going to win today.
Rahouse, nice ball, just races away from Vinton on this really fast court here at Wolverhampton, isn't it? Something the players have probably got to get used to.
I think the key here now with just over 2 minutes to go to half-time that Exeter stay in the game.
Good challenge from Rahouse. And the referee gives a corner. Brett again doing really well, as you say. Derby looking to take this game away from their opponents. Lockley over the corner. Finds Humphrey, loose one, but it bounces free. Here is Humphrey again. Keeps it alive. Really good ball from Hilliard. Great feet from Lockley. Hilliard, there we go, 6-3. Fine goal from Derby. Got lucky with a couple of ricochets, but great moments. Lovely diagonal ball, great feet from Lockley, and eventually it's Hilliard who finishes.
And I think the difference here, Matt, now is Derby are really committing players forward to get into the D and be in a position to be able to finish those off.
Clark does well to cut out that ball and immediately looks for Brett again on halfway. Humphrey. She has time, she has space. Derby in no rush now with that 3-goal lead. Here's Hilliard, she looks down the line for Lockley. Lockley will just look to retain possession. Sets back for Hilliard, wins the kick in. Really good from Derby, just management of that clock now between now and half-time, isn't it, for them?
Yeah, what they're managing to do also, Matt, is stretch this court out and make Exeter work really hard.
Humphrey. Ball runs through to Pearce. Exeter with work to do. Rahouse, the captain. Here is Kelly, back on court. Really having the bulk of the first probably quarter of this game. Poppy Kelly's performance being vastly overshadowed by Derby's Emily Brett. But two players who have really stood out so far in this one on each team.
Yeah, one of the things, I looked up at the clock with about 7 minutes to go and I was thinking what was the score going to be at half-time. I didn't really see this, Matt, to be honest.
And this is what time and time again this team has done, this Derby team, is at times where they're up against it, they've found a way. It's been the story of their season. Jazz Clark again does well, but she'll be happy with the shot coming in from those areas, as you said it previously in the half. Humphrey does well just to make that hard, and just pause here because painful ankle roll perhaps, I think, for number 8 Holly O'Neill, scorer of Exeter's first goal. They are painful ones, those, aren't they?
Yeah, that I think that's a big issue with rolled ankles, and it's not nice because that is just, the pain is horrific when you twist your ankle like that.
Gives both teams chance. Difference in the two teams here is the Exeter, Derby immediately over to their bench, looking to be together, and you know, see some Exeter players around the injured player on court. Well, their bench seems very flat, probably a bit shell-shocked by what's happened. As you say, probably not the score we expected halfway through this first half, was it?
Yeah, I think what Derby have done is Emily Brett's been a key factor in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this half, and they've definitely played to her strength. I think Humphrey as well has stepped up and just changed her game slightly, and you add those two factors in, and I think that's why Derby see themselves 3 goals in front, and it's going to be a really tough half-time team talk for Exeter, because if they're going to get back into this game, they're going to have to take some real high-level risks, I think, and that's going to allow Derby opportunities to punish them even more.
I was touching on it in play. It gives us a really good moment. Obviously, know this team really well, and something they've done all season long is just keep games alive. They've kept themselves in games. They've found a way to grind out key results in key moments, and done exceptionally well when up against it, just to find a goal, an important goal. And with a player like Emily Brett on court, you always have that option, don't you? Natural goal scorers don't come easy, and we know as a club and an institution, we're very fortunate to have her at Derby.
And has she got plans to maybe push into futsal, or is sort of football going to be her calling?
So she's very much twin tracking across the board. She has plans. She takes her futsal very seriously. She joined us quite late with a number of. She worked with the wheelchair basketball GB team earlier in the year as part of her PhD, so was unavailable for fixtures. But she's somebody who, across the course of the season, has been a real key cog in what we've done in the NFS with the Derby team as well, and certainly has plans to take this more seriously. I imagine, and I'm hoping that if he's at home, England head coach Sean Kitson, someone I've told him about at countless times, is Holly O'Neill just getting clapped off the court here. Not what you want to see a player, but yeah, definitely for Emily Brett, somebody who I would imagine has eyes on that kind of opportunity.
Yeah, she's I've been very, very impressed with what I've seen. I think what's stood out about her is not just her in possession but out of possession match. She's really covered that court. She's able to do it, and I think she understands why she needs to do it as well.
I think one of the things I found very early on coaching her is natural instinct of things that you often need to teach footballers when they first come in. She has in abundance. So she smells the danger. She understands where she needs to be on court to prevent attacks and things like that as well. And her role in a five-a-side game is as important going the other way as it is going forward, which often for a striker we know can be very difficult. House with the kick in then as we get back underway, but immediately it's Brett who drives forward. She does really well, drives through, another good strike. Luckily probably just couldn't keep up there.
Yeah, that was a very, very positive run, and she probably looked up and realised what was going to happen, but she still got her crossing, went with a lot of power, so it gave the goalkeeper no chance.
Humphrey does well to block the shot from Amber Vinton, but Exeter have a corner. Vinton to take it. Back to Kelly, who gets a strike away. Clark does well to palm, but Exeter keep it alive. Here's Kelly again. Good strike, blocked. Hilliard in quickly to prevent any chance of Kelly getting anything else away. And it is a Derby corner. Humphrey perhaps didn't feel that touch off, but Kelly did really well there, just to get something out of nothing.
Yeah, that was a solid challenge coming in as well, Matt.
There's been a couple, hasn't there? Here is Kelly, luckily looking to engage her. Something Derby have done much better from early stages, and as we reach the half-time, it's Derby who, after struggling in probably the first 10 minutes of that first half, they have the lead. Emily Brett at the heart of everything they do well. Her 4 goals have helped her team to a 6-3 lead at half-time, and they're in full control of this Bucks Trophy final.
Yeah, I think you'd have to say probably for the first 10-12 minutes, Matt, the game was pretty much even. It was a bit of ebb and flow, but teams had their moments, scored, and then it went the other way. But the last 5 or 6 minutes of this half has really made it a long haul for Exeter to try and get back in this game.
It has been, and we're in a situation where half-time, as we just go towards the highlights, we'll show you through the goals. As you say, Louis, Derby taken control, found a way, and as I touched on previously, it's something that has been a real characteristic of this team. Here was the first goal of the game. It's obviously them who started brighter, Louis. Emily Brett immediately involved, 2 players, and it's a fine finish.
Yeah, just that power to drive through, and what she had also was the awareness of where the goalkeeper had set up, and she'd left that far post open, and it was a really clinical finish there.
And then Humphrey getting caught early on and immediately almost Holly O'Neill finishing well to get Exeter back level.
Yeah, she threw a couple of little swivels of the hit there to try and put the goalkeeper off, but it was a cool, calm finish. Unfortunately, O'Neill went off just before half-time.
And then Exeter, at this stage, looked like they're more likely to go on and be leading the game. A penalty, a rash decision, and Poppy Kelly won it. And she stepped over, and she slotted home nicely past Jazz Clark. And at 2-1, it felt like Exeter would push on. Really well worked free kick. Found Emily Brett's second of the game, though.
Yeah, no, I just think that on that one they really just did switch off. Exeter, the wall didn't look that great, but I think in the last 4 or 5 minutes, as we saw Matt Darby just run away with it, Emily Brett has been superb, absolutely superb.
She is again, and this her third and her hat-trick to pull her team back level at that moment. And then this a really well-worked goal. Perhaps that pass, as we touched on, not quite as they would want it, but she was alert to seize on that rebound. And this one, a feature we'd seen of Derby's play in their later stage of the half, the give and go from Humphrey into the pivot, Hilliard this time, and she finishes well past keeper Pearce. Derby who lead, Derby in control.
Well, the point I just wanted to make there, Matt, was that the two-player combination, something we talk about a lot in futsal, and we saw it there in execution.
And this one, very, very similar, is players looking to combine, players looking to get forward and keeping moves alive. And Ella Hilliard helping herself to her first goal of the final, and I think, if I'm not too mistaken, her first goal in futsal orange and blue.
And it was a really good finish, because when we saw it there, she realised what the goalkeeper was going to do, and she just slightly opened her body up and opened it up and then went top left-hand corner. It was a really, really technically top-class finish.
So half-time there here at the University of Wolverhampton. It's Derby who have the advantage, a 6-3 lead over Exeter in the Books Trophy final. Stay with us and we'll be back very, very shortly. Welcome back then. We are moments away from the start of the second half here. Derby leading this Women's Books Trophy final 6-3 at the University of Wolverhampton. Very much the tale of two players that first half, Louis. Poppy Kelly from Exeter, really their standout, but Emily Brett grabbing all the plaudits deservedly and really taking control of this game. Her 4 goals helping her team to a 3-goal uncomfortable lead at half-time.
Yeah, we were just talking off there at half-time, Matt, and talking about Emily Brett and her characteristics as a player, and you know, she definitely looks very much a tier 1 player to me in NFS, and she would cause a lot of fixes, a lot of problems out in games, I think. I'll be delighted to see her playing tier 1 futsal.
Certainly what I'm hoping next year. She's, as I say, made a number of appearances in tier 2 this year, scored a lot of goals, been really pivotal in our promotion within that, and also our run to the cup quarter-finals. Somebody who I know on that day we got beat very narrowly, and she was very, very disappointed on the day that we didn't go further. We felt we didn't do ourselves justice, but you see a natural winner, a hard-working winner, and somebody who has really taken this game, a big game player as well, and taken this game by the scruff of the neck. We're moments away from being back underway. If you're in the Exeter changing room at half-time, what would the message be?
Well, I think they just need to keep their nerve here. When I talk to players about, as we see O'Neill returning to the court there, and see looks quite a serious ankle injury.
A painful one, isn't it? And should be devastated, I'm sure, in a lot of pain, but great to see her back courtside with her teammates. Best place to be, right, when you're in those moments is alongside the people who are going to support you through it.
Yeah, just to pick up on that, Matt, I would say that when we look at the scoreboard, I'd always tell players, whatever the scoreboard is now, add 2 goals onto the opposition total, and you know, suddenly it can change very quickly. So 6-3 becomes 6-4, becomes 6-5, and it's a different game.
There's Kelly again, but her shot from distance is wide. Really nice give and go, as you were talking there, Louis, similar to tactics Derby have been doing. Kelly looking to play in and off Vinton. Here is Brett again. Again, her and Kelly matched up, but Brett rides that challenge well, gets away. Good challenge from Rahouse, and Exeter looking to come forward. Kelly out to this right-hand side, and Tamsin Dunn. She's held up by Lockley. Looks for Kelly again with the switch. Looks for that sort of parallel with the diagonal run. This time Humphrey does really, really well. Derby defend that better. Immediately look forward for Brett. Rehousing quickly. Shots away, but Jasmine Clark equal to that one.
Yeah, I think shots at that pace are going to be easy for the keeper, and it just turns possession over.
Oh, loose pass, and here's Rehouse. Huge let off for Derby there. Lockley caught with a loose pass, but Rehouse can't direct a shot.
She just looked like slightly off balance there. Couldn't almost believe that opportunity, and just got a little bit squared up with the post and couldn't quite turn it in. But if Exeter are going to get back into this game, they're going to have to put chances like that away, Matt.
Here is the Exeter captain. She looks parallel ball down the line into her pivot at that moment, Vinton. Derby doing well again, similar to we saw in the end of the second half, just happy to defend the centre of the court and force Exeter into corridors down the sides where they can easily defend that ball out. Ball into Hilliard, she looks round the corner, but loose one.
Yeah, and we saw the Humphreys other side there where, you know, she likes to get on the ball, but she's able to use her physical presence there just to see the Exeter winger out.
It's Kelly. She looks for her captain, Rehouse, on this left-hand side. Hilliard cuts out the ball into Vinton, but Exeter able to keep it alive. Good work from Vinton there, but not from Kelly this time. And Hilliard with a strike. Good save. Really good save from Pearce in the goal. Well, you talk about needing to take chances at the other end. Equally, they've got to be able to keep them out of this one, and that's a fine save, isn't it?
Yeah, you could see Pearce there just feeling the hand of the power of the shot.
We say anything Pearce can do, Jazz Clark can do too. Really fine stop from Derby's makeshift goalkeeper, by the way. Don't think I've mentioned this yet on the stream. So Derby faced the challenge at the start of this year where we didn't have a goalkeeper within this group. Jazz Clark stepped up, able to play it, has done it times in the past when called upon, and it's been really, really crucial to what they've done this year. Substitute keeper Abby Littler is an England volleyball international as well, and a scholar in that sport. She stepped up and been a big part of the squad too. Again, Humphrey's strength there to defend that out. Really clear for everybody to see.
Yeah, I think though that she got herself into a little bit of trouble. That initial touch trying to play out, and a little heavy touch, and it caused a problem.
Really nice play from Brett. Kelly does well. It's a Derby corner. It's a kick-in even. Referee gave you kick-in. I thought it went out for a corner, but I'll bow to Will Thompson's superior knowledge. Hilliard, another good save from Pearce. But she's a threat with that left foot, isn't she? Really growing into this one. We've seen her grab a goal already. Brett steps over. Pearce called into action once again. Well worked set piece.
Yeah, Exeter, they've got to deal with this, weather this.
And in the end, that loose shot probably lets Exeter off the hook a little bit. Vinton, good run in, really good ball from Pearce again. Just couldn't quite get on the end of it. Derby come forward again. Hilliard, loose one. Brett couldn't quite reach that one. Derby's number 6 immediately apologises to her teammate.
I think from Derby's aspect, it's really up to them to manage this game now, Matt, to see it out, and they don't need to do anything rash. Just play percentage futsal and they'll get over the line.
So it's a 3-goal lead. We know, really good buffer. We know a game can change so quickly, but that 3-goal lead gives them a good advantage, doesn't it? And that's what Derby will be looking to as we see Maz Derbyshire enter the court, a final year student for her first action of the game. Here is Derbyshire, looks to turn. Brett tries to help her out, and in the end ball goes back to Jazz Clark. Exeter just struggling at this moment to get any sort of foothold in of control in this game, aren't they? Have moments, but Derby marshalling the Exeter key players really, really well. And there's probably one of those moments you mentioned earlier, just silly moments. Humphrey getting a little bit overzealous with the physicality perhaps.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure she really needs to do that because she did have a teammate in cover there to help her out. So, but these are the set piece opportunities, Matt, which we know are so important in futsal.
It's Kelly and Rahouse over it, but Humphrey redeems herself perhaps, and ball is out for a kick-in. Here is Rahouse, the Exeter captain. Looking to draw Brett out. Brett does really well though, just to cover that run and clear the ball through.
But that is so important what she's doing, that work which can get a little bit lost in the game because there's so many goals. Those are the key moments of the game for me out of possession.
Here's Kelly and Brett renewing that battle. And something I think she's done really well, Louis, is I look at her and knowing Emily as well as I do, I knew that as soon as we saw that Poppy Kelly was Exeter's real key player in this one, I knew she'd almost take that battle on herself, and we've seen she really has done that, and she's been willing to go in front up to that, and so far she's coming out on top, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's been, if I had to pick a player of the match right now, she would be it.
Here's Hilliard. Again, winding up that left foot. This time dealt with by Exeter, and it's another Derby corner. Still to come today after this one, you've got Warwick and Team Bath in the men's Bucks Trophy final, and then the big one, the Bucks Championship women's final. Nottingham University and Durham, last year's winners, face off. Two really good sides in the game we're both really excited about.
Yeah, can anyone stop the Durham machine?
Good turn there. Good strike as well. Clark is equal to Tamsin Dunn's effort. good moments. Exeter's best of the half, I'd say. House deflected. Clark does well.
Yeah, that's a really good save. Took a awkward deflection, but I think Clark will be happy if they're going to be taking shots from 12, 13 metres out. She's looked really comfortable, Matt, with it, and I don't think she's going to be fazed by it.
She will be, and she's someone who has really grown into this sport and grown to love this sport. Graduating this year, looking to continue playing. Should be a big part of plans for what we have for the sport as a whole in Derby over the next couple of years, and really growing as a goalkeeper. It's done. Again, Derby happy to sit deep, almost trying to force Exeter. They need to block shots there, though. And Clark, well, she's living a charm life as well. Somehow, back off the post, straight into her arms. She's able to hold it.
I'm starting to think it might be Derby's day, Matt, with good fortune like that.
Brett this time gets caught. Kelly and Rahouse doubling up. Keep the move alive. Here is Kelly again. Goes 1v1, left-footed shot. Brett does well. And Derby come away. Exeter appealing. Here's Gittins. Keeps the ball. What support she got? Probably had a better option to go and find Maz Derbyshire on that right-hand side. But Derby able to come forwards again. Rahouse and Humphrey, the two captains. And it's a Derby kick-in.
That was a major opportunity there, Matt, for Derby to put this game probably beyond doubt. A 3v1 and to come away with not even getting a shooting opportunity or a finishing opportunity would be really disappointing for Hannah, your coach.
Yeah, I think Emma Gittins just there. She got caught in two minds as she came over half. Right, almost nosebleed territory for her. A centre half as a footballer and somebody when she plays is very much a fix. But as she came forward there, didn't quite know what to do in that situation and almost did nothing. Brett again dropping in to cover, and they'll come forward with Humphrey. Humphrey drives central. She has support right and left. Takes the shot, and again Eleanor Pearce called into action.
Yeah, it was a good driving run there, and I think she made the right choice there because the court had opened up, the right wing had stayed wide, and Brett had made her run, and that allowed the shooting opportunity, and not far off.
Here she is again, Humphrey. This time shot blocked by Rahouse, and Kelly comes away 1v1 with Gittins. Gittins does well to hold her up, perhaps gets lucky and gives away a foul. Soft one.
Yeah, Gittins had done all the hard work there. She was on the cover, but some tricky play there from Exeter that gives them another free kick.
In a good area as well. 11, 12 metres from goal. Almost just off dead centre. Kelly over it. Looks for a strike. Clark is equal to it. Comes back off the bar. Somehow gets the rebound. And again, one of those moments, Louis, where you start to think this looks like it's going to be Derby's day. Hopefully, from my point of view, and I'm sure there'll be people at home praying that I don't commentator's curse to this team. Derbyshire cuts inside. Her shot's wayward. Fine work, actually, from Jazz Clark. I don't think she quite expected that ball to come back off the crossbar, did she?
No, it was. She did well to gather that in. Cards are definitely falling her way at the moment.
Done. Back to her captain, Rahouse and Kelly. Played a lot of minutes, these three, for this Exeter team, and not quite had the joy they probably expected they would have in the early stages of this one.
I think where Exeter may be a bit disappointed is the fact that they're relying on a lot of long shots here at the moment to try and create chances.
Good move. Really good goal. Fantastic goal from Derby. Again, Humphrey driving through the middle. Give and go with the pivot. Brett finds Derbyshire on that right-hand side. And it's that girl again, Emily Brett, grabs her fifth, her team's seventh. And you have to feel now puts Derby in a really, really good position with 13 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, I think if you were making a coaching video, Matt, you'd probably use that example there as a way of, 1-2 touch, your movement off the ball, getting a player on the second post. Classic futsal goal.
Emily Brett's fifth of this game gives Derby a 7-3 lead. But not really the story of that goal, was it? A fantastic goal in every way you look at it.
I think when teams play like that, Matt, it's really difficult to defend against as well, because if they're playing off one touch, you know, if you're not there cutting that, it's gone, and then you're behind the play.
Here's Dunn with a chance, and she pulls one back. Tamsin Dunn's hard work prevails, 7-4. A lifeline for Exeter. Really good give and go. Similar, really similar goal.
Again, it just shows you that simple. There we had a vertical 1-2, and it pays off. You know, maybe that's the key for Exeter to get back in this game, to try and do that a bit more, bypass players, and then it gives you opportunities to finish like that. That was a really good finish as well.
Brett and Dunn, the goal scorer, does well. Robs Derbyshire as well and drives forward. Looks for the pivot. And in the end, Roughouse almost ushered out of play, and Derby lived to fight another minute.
I think what also we need to remember, Matt, there's well over a quarter of this game to go yet. There's plenty of time for Exeter to get themselves back in. You know, they don't need to this game to go yet. There's plenty of time for Exeter to get themselves back in. You know, they don't need to panic.
It was important once they did concede that seventh that they reacted well, and Tamsin Dunn's goal gives them that, doesn't it? And Pearce immediately looking forward, but again, Brett more alert than their counterpart, Holly Reid.
Yeah, I don't think Holly Reid looked up there and see where that ball was going.
Holstrom back onto court, combines with Gittins. Humphrey. Derby just looking to build an attack. Nice idea. Gittins' header, just in front of Brett. And here is Reid, come forward. Lovely ball, return ball, but Holstrom alert to that central area. Slightly loose one, wasn't it, from Rockwell, but good idea.
Yeah, it was interesting there. Derby went into 4-0 for a moment and then stretched it into the 3-1 really quickly, used the width of the court, but good work from Exeter to deal with it.
Reid can't find Rockwell. Again, Derby clear. Another kick in, but one Hannah Roberts I'm sure will be happy with, in and around the opposite technical area. Roughouse to take. Goes back to her goalkeeper, Pearce. Pearson to Coakley. She's looking for that diagonal ball. Well defended by Derby, but Gittins gives it away again. Coakley comes forward. Brett does well. And between Brett and Humphrey, in the end, able to defend it in away a corner. Just a slight loose one there from Gittins. Just perhaps needs to have more control over that clearance once Derby had done the hard work.
Yeah, I think she had a bit more time than she thought there. She could have put her foot on the ball and then give herself a bit of time to make a better decision.
Good from Humphrey. Brett in strong as well, and she's away. Keeper does really well, Pearce. Gets there first. Both players committed.
Yeah, brave keeping there from Pearce, because Brett is a formidable player going forward, physically as well.
Another Exeter corner. Here's Roughouse, the captain. Looks for Reid. Reid with the shot, well blocked by Brett. Holstrom does well. Another Exeter corner, but Derby will be happy with these, with the way they're defending them, just running that clock down.
They're controlling that central area, so they're quite happy for them to go across and down the line and deal with it.
Brett this time clears back to Pearce. Exeter has to build again. Roughouse into the pivot. Her idea not quite there with the execution, and Rockwell can only put the ball out of play, and Derby make a couple of changes here. Just the one, Hilliard onto court. Oh, given away from the throw. Just Rockwell's almost caught with both feet, didn't she, there, and didn't quite run for her. Derby again charmed. Here's Holstrom, plays forwards into Derbyshire in that pivot position this time, does well. Finds Humphrey drives, finds Holstrom, shooting opportunity, just drags it Drags it wide of this near post.
That was a good little run by Humphrey as well. She made that diagonal run to the left-hand side, and she would have been an option.
Hilliard this time in strong against Rockwell, the pivot. Forces the ball back to the goalkeeper, Pearce. Derby not happy to let Exeter have it now. Almost a half-court press as such, and a very deep block. Ball runs through to Clark, who immediately looks for Derbyshire. Can she retain? She gets caught, but just about does enough, and Hilliard's able to maintain possession. Humphrey gets caught. Again, Hilliard it is who sweeps up, looks for Holstrom, and messy, but Derby do get away with it. Lovely ball that for Derbyshire. Derbyshire in and just wide of Pearce's right-hand post. A scruffy one, but very nearly came off for Derby.
And then we saw the other side of Humphrey's game there, that just played a way out trouble, and then that brilliant pass, and that was a great opportunity for Derby to re-establish the 4-goal lead.
And you see there, Exeter just starting to struggle with this deep block now. A little bit void of ideas for House there, and just probably the pressure of the clock starting to build on them.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Matt.
Holstrom gives it away, and in the end, Coakley's shot's well blocked by our captain, Humphrey. And Humphrey again looking to build the attack, immediately forward. Hilliard, lovely ball. Humphrey, good save. Great move.
I think that is where Derby look at their best. And just to quickly backtrack to the issue about the clock, I think once we start to get 10 minutes to go, then that's where the pressure really does start to mount up, and you start to feel it. And are we going to change the game?
Coakley in quickly to defend that corner, but Derby will be happy. They've maintained possession with the kick in. Humphrey, the captain, over it. Well cut out by Kelly. She's back onto court. With a foul, Holstrom. Kelly did well. Perhaps there, advantage could have been played, but referee Will Thompson steps in. Yellow card as well for Amy Holstrom.
Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the best positions they've had, Exeter, from a free kick to... Certainly, I think the shot is on here.
Dead central. Poppy Kelly over the ball. Exeter's best moment to narrow this deficit. So a 2-player wall for Jazz Clark. Kelly strikes it wide of that right upright. Struck it well, but almost too well in the end. I'd say just didn't quite have the direction. Hilliard into Lancashire.
Yeah, they just need to be a little bit careful here, Derby. 3 fouls with just over 8.5 minutes to go. They don't want to get close to that 5 foul.
It's no surprise. I just saw Poppy Kelly back on court, and Emily Brett just ready in herself. I'm sure ready to redeem that battle. Really important. I think now she's had a rest to try, for Hannah Roberts, try and get back onto court, try and get back in this game. Really nullified that threat of Poppy Kelly, hasn't she? Holstrom did well there, and between her and Lancashire couldn't maintain it. Kelly comes forward. Humphrey blocks the shot, and that will roll out for another corner. 8 minutes left. Derby leads 7-4 in this first final of the day, the Women's Books Trophy final. And here's Kelly, good strike over the bar.
I just think when Kelly's driving forward, she does need some support there, because it all seems to be on her when she's going forward, and there's nothing in front of her then when she's looking to play. So either she has to finish herself, or she needs to use, or has to play back.
It's very similar to what we were probably saying in the first sort of quarter of the game about when Emily Brett was driving forward and there wasn't a lot of support. It was a lot of almost leaving her to do it herself, wasn't there? And just in those moments have to make sure you get that support in and around the player on the ball, and don't leave her with too much. Exeter probably guilty of falling into that trap of giving Poppy the ball and almost trusting her to go and deliver. Hilliard did enough at that second post area there just to cut out that ball for West. Another Exeter corner. They do look for Kelly. She gives it away, loose one. Lancashire finds Brett powering forward and just couldn't quite get there. Really good defending from Rockwell, I'd say. Just did enough.
Yeah, I think with Brett back on the court now, Exeter going to have to be really careful about how they go in possession.
West from deep, but Clark more than a match to them. Exeter kicking, and you're right, yeah, I think straight away, as soon as Poppy Kelly almost came back onto court, Brett was ready in herself, and she knew what her job would be.
Yeah, that was a really tired-looking shot there from Exeter, and I think fatigue is starting to kick in a little bit now, Matt, for Exeter, but they've still got a good 7 minutes to try and find something in this game, whether they go with a more direct approach.
Brett finds Lancashire, she drives forward, good defending. Can Exeter break forward? No, Hilliard cuts it out, does well, really well, finds Gittins. Really good, finds Lancashire on this right hand side. She looks for a shot, blocked. Corner ball.
I've been really impressed with number 6, Ella Hilliard. She sort of quietly goes about her game, doesn't she? She's not, I wouldn't say she's a spectacular player, but she does all the bits and pieces really well. And I think she's been key at the back there.
One of them important players that you need, right? A steady player, someone who won't make many mistakes. Perhaps won't win you a game, but won't lose you a game either, and does all those important roles really, really well. There she is again, and she finds Brett, who drives forward. Brett looking for support, and again, Lancashire just couldn't quite get there, could she? That's the threat, though, for Exeter, if they give those balls away while Emily Brett is on court.
But that interception, it just wasn't the interception, it was the quality of the touch to play into Brett's path. That's a high-quality bit of play there.
Yeah, really good footballer, Ella Hilliard's just beginning her futsal journey as well. Been on loan at Peterborough United second half of the season from Derby County, and someone who's really progressed since that loan move. Brett there just perhaps trying to buy a free kick, but nothing comes, and good defending from Gittins, but West keeps the attack alive, and it's Hilliard again.
Yeah, she's done well, but just going back to that, asking for the free kick there, I think that's one of those where if you get given it, you're fortunate, and if it goes against you, you're not too happy. So I think that was a really good decision there from the refs.
Smart decision. Timeout call by Exeter. So with 6 minutes to go, Louis, if you're on that Exeter bench, and you're Lewis Sulman, what's your message?
Well, I think either you've got to be considering, do we change our approach? Are we going to play fly? Which, if I'm honest, I think I mentioned this last week in commentary on NFS games. I think, that is not a strong point of English futsal, playing fly in possession. Or do we go a bit more direct? Now, the times they have gone directly into the pivot, the ball has been excellent. It's just they haven't been able to get the finish they wanted. So that might be an opportunity then to turn the Derby defence facing their own goal and getting players forward. But I think if they carry on as they do, this game's going to run out maybe 8-5, 9-6, something like that. And if they don't change the game now, the clock's just going to run out and they're just going to run out of time.
The thoughts of Louis Melville alongside me here at the University of Wolves. The first game of the day, just over 6 minutes to go, and Derby leads 7-4 in the Women's Books Trophy final. If you're just joining us, we've got 2 extra games after this. The men's trophy final between Warwick, who are warming up on the court to our left-hand side, and Team Bath. Great to see Team Bath back at the sharp end of English futsal again. And then later on, the Women's Championship final, Nottingham looking to, what was it you said, stop the Durham machine. Durham last year's winners, multiple time winners now, of course, and Nottingham, under the guidance of Matt Ramsbottom, looking to prevent that from going any further.
Yeah, I think since we've come back COVID, they're looking for the three-peat on this, Matt.
The really experienced coach, Chris Sewell, isn't he? Been in and around the game a long, long time, and doing some fantastic work up at Durham. Still time to go in this one, though, and it's Exeter with the ball. West looks for Dunn. Back to her number 12. Again, looking to open up. Nice ball. Looking for a Captain Rahouse. Derby recover well.
Just need to commit a few more players to go forward. It's in ones and twos where they really need to go with 3 minimum, I think, if they're going to cause Derby any problems.
Yeah. It's very, very comfortable, isn't it, for Derby out of possession at the moment. Just happy to almost wait for mistakes. And here's Brett, who sees us on one. Got ourselves probably a little bit isolated there, so just happy to go and clear our lines. And here we see Poppy Kelly on in that fly goalkeeper.
Here we go.
So for those unfamiliar, the fly goalkeeper sees an outfield player quite often come and play in the opposite half. Obviously a touch limit in their own half, but as soon as the goalkeeper crosses the halfway, they can have the ball as many times as they want and for as long as they want. Hannah Roberts immediately just calling a timeout just to, I would imagine, just go through how they defend this. They won't have come across this an awful lot, so it'll be a message she'll just want to relay. They have a lead to protect, but I think knowing Hannah, she'll put full trust in her squad here. It's some really good defenders on court and just almost marshal this out.
Yeah, I think the key thing here is you can't defend the whole width of the court here, so where is the ball, we'll defend that third of the court. If it goes out wide, we'll defend that from that half midpoint to the touchline, and just we just shuffle them around the court, wait for our opportunity. If they take 30 or 40 passes before they get a shot off, the clock's probably going to run down a minute or so. So I think the key here in possession is ball speed, and if the ball speed isn't good enough, then it's going to be easy to defend, and also then pass quality and movement to get into the space and finding the finish.
And the final thing is, finishing the action, because how many times do we see it with our men's NFS team when we've used it so many times, where it comes to that finishing action and we make the wrong decision and the ball can run through to a goalkeeper who immediately built an attack on an empty goal. It's Kelly who is the fly goalkeeper. Interestingly, stays on court, out of possession as well. West in the end quite wasteful with that one. This time Kelly does step out.
Yeah, I think if you're going to set this up, you need to give your players a chance to get into the positions they need to be.
Humphrey again looking for that diagonal, and Brett cut out this time, but Derby will be happy with the kick in. 4.5 to go. Still they lead 7-4. Here's Humphrey with time, space, looks to get a shot away and whisker over the bar. Hattie Nikui onto court. Probably the first few moments called almost into action there.
Yeah, no extra time in this game, by the way, or any of the finals. We're straight to penalties if we're level at the end of regulation time.
Here's Kelly taking that central position on halfway as the goalkeeper. West to her right, Rahouse to her left. And Hilliard does really well just to marshal out Olivia Pinker there. West gives the ball away. Brett, narrowly wide. That's the danger, isn't it? If there's a loose pass on this one, a player of Emily Brett's quality, he's going to seize on it.
I think that was a really ambitious pass, trying to play that inside without checking your shoulder.
Kelly right on the halfway line, living dangerously. Oh, nice touch from Dunn. Well blocked by Hilliard again. Brett just ensures the ball rolls out play. I think she's looking to try and get that shot away there. Dunn goes back to her captain, Rahouse. Kelly on halfway. Blocked. Hilliard out quickly to control that. Shot from deep. Jazz Clark does well, but we'll be quite happy with those shots, as we've said most of this half, haven't we?
Yeah, I think they just need to be a little bit more patient, Derby. There's 3.5 minutes to go, which is still enough time to do this. West.
Kelly, slight change of position going out to this left-hand side now. Looks for Dunn. Dunn, nice crossfield ball. But again, Exeter just perhaps rushing that, just maintain possession, Louis. Probably what you were just alluding to.
Yeah, they're not going to score from there, Matt. You know, unless there's some howler from the keeper, they've got to get nearer to the goal.
Brett gets hold of the ball. Holstrom supports, does well. Brett able to turn. She'll drive at Rahouse. We know she will. And that's a corner. Rahouse did well, but Brett, nice and positive, drives forward. Derby now with the ball in possession in an area of the court. They'll be more than happy to have it. They'll look to run 20-30 seconds down of this clock here, won't they?
Yeah, definitely managing the clock now is key for Derby.
Hilliard and Brett combine just to get something on that, and here's Dunn, somehow recovers but only runs out of play for a goal clearance. Good defending again from Derby, just limiting the space, forcing the error, and able to just get the ball back in play again. And Exeter just sat off for a moment there. I think they've got to go and get the ball, haven't they, at this stage? So Derby able to build. Brett finds Holstrom, loose touch, does well. Humphrey, there it is. Eleanor Humphrey's second of the game. But what a move that was. What a fantastic deft touch from Amy Holstrom when her first touch had let her down, just to keep that alive. And surely 8-4, 2.5 to go. That's game.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned, the start of the move there, Exeter dropped off. That allowed Derby to bring the ball out, set themselves up, and then once they got the ball on the move, it was a really clever finish there, and emphatic finish. And I think the game is up for Exeter now, and they can start putting the ribbons, if they have got any, on the trophy for Derby. And you can now relax, Matt, I think.
Orange and blue ribbons on, orange and blue drapes in the arena. Get the champagne on ice. These girls have done the whole university very, very proud today. Completely, as I said earlier, did not expect the successes that they've had this year, but they've thoroughly earned every single one of them with hard work, desire, and a real togetherness. Exeter will keep coming, of course. Rahouse here. Another good effort. Blocked away. Corner. Brett again. That's the side of a game that so many people miss, that defensive side of it. Holstrom does well, just to slight mix up there and able to just almost seize on it. Derby back into this deep block again.
Yeah, they've looked very comfortable here, Derby, dealing with this fly.
And Humphrey does well. She's now on a hat-trick, of course, looking to wriggle free. Just drive forwards and take what room she can. Corner given.
Yeah, and Derby will be really happy with 92 seconds to go where the ball is.
Hilliard does well, loose pass. Brett just be happy. Not taking any chances on that one, and just under 90 seconds to go then. Rahouse comes forward for Exeter. Derby leading 8-4. Patient now. And Derby just almost wait for those loose ones. Here he is. Brett, really good challenge that. Lancashire gets caught. There's Reed, and her pass is loose and only runs out of play. How good is that tackle from Emily Brett, though? A really crucial one. The desire to win that at 8-4 up in a game. Yeah,
we'll talk about her goals, but like I said, for me, the out of possession is just as critical, the value of a player. No point in scoring 5 or 6 if you give away 7.
Hilliard finds Humphrey. Humphrey happy to retain the ball now, looks for Hilliard again, and will just build. Really good from Derby, just running this clock down inside the final, just outside the final 30 seconds now. Humphrey and Hilliard more than comfortable to just have it here, make Exeter work. And Hilliard now looking to drive forwards and engage. Lancashire, she does well. Here is Hilliard, look for Brett, ball out. Really good that from Derby.
Yeah, just what you really want going into the last 10-15 seconds of this game. Control the ball, control the game, see out the clock.
Here's Brett. Fittingly, this game near enough finish off. She's happy to kind of hold it, see what she can win. In the end, kicking gives it away, but 6 seconds to go.
You can see over on the far side, Matt, the Derby bench are ready to go. They're primed, bibs ready to go off.
Yeah, I want to join them, and too far away. Got a job to do first, but here we go, and thoroughly deserved. Derby are the winners of the Women's Books Trophy this year. A fantastic achievement from Hannah Roberts and her team. Thoroughly deserving of the win on the day. A fabulous performance from Emily Brett and her teammates. What a performance, start to finish. What a season, what a group.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Derby, congratulations Matt, and commiserations to Exeter. I think they gave it a really good go, but just on the day they just came up short. And in Emily Brett, you know, what a performance. I think you've got to praise it out of possession as well, but Derby definitely worthy winners, and I'm sure this is something that they'll take back to the university, Matt, and look to really build on and try and make the university even bigger and better at futsal.
That's right, yeah, we managed to get our men's team promoted last year, and the women are almost a year behind us in their journey, but have done something we weren't able to do, and they managed to get to this final and get into this, and yeah, thoroughly deserving. A note from me for Exeter as well, who I thought were exceptional, especially early stages of the first half. A really experienced group with a lot of talented players, and yeah, really hard to take, isn't it, when you're in these games and you put everything into it, but thoroughly deserving of their silver medal for the efforts that they've put in over the course of the season, and the best of luck to them for everything moving forwards as well.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this is, again, futsal as a sport within university, I think it's such an underrated sport. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, especially for female players coming in, and the way that it's set up, where players can play their football on a Wednesday but the weekend's free for them to come and engage in this sport. And you know, hopefully what we're going to see over the next few years with women's futsal develop, and hopefully we'll see the Bucks competition overall is the biggest competition in the country, both male and female, the teams, the players. You know, I think this could be a real hotbed of talent in terms of bringing them through, Matt.
Definitely one of the biggest participation sports in Bucks as well. Futsal, a lot of players playing on a weekly basis during the Bucks season, and we've seen here two of the strongest second tier teams go at it. But yeah, I can only really speak of what we've done at Derby, and I know as a participation sport, futsal is a massive one, both male and female, but especially in the female game is a great opportunity to get players playing in a controlled environment, a warm environment as well. All those things that normally put people off going and playing outdoor football, for futsal is a great tool to keep people playing and get people in. We're moments away from trophy presentation here.
Just a quick word for the refs as well, Matt. They refereed it really well, kept the game going, I think, and got all the big decisions right. Yeah,
exceptional refereeing for both of them. Sophie Jackson, lead referee, and Will Thompson is the second official. Two referees we see at the sharp end of the women's NFS. And here we go, Derby just coming over to celebrate in front of our commentary position with their supporters. Huge turnout from just up the A38 today. And this team thoroughly deserving of all the plaudits they've received. A number of players in there, so Emma Gittins, Maz Lancashire, Jazz Clark, as we touched on, the goalkeeper. Emily Hayden didn't get minutes today, but been a big part of the group across the course of the year. They all graduate this year, so what a fine way to end your time at university.
Yeah, it's a 3-year cycle, and that's one of the challenges as well, isn't it, Matt, for coaches up and down the country, with finding that sweet spot where you've got sufficient third and second years who've got the experience to then go and mount a challenge for either a cup competition or a league, and then they go through, and then you've got your freshers coming in, and then those second years, are they quite there? And it's a real difficult balance, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember speaking to now Lincoln manager, of course, Michael Squala, many years ago about the work he was doing at Loughborough when he was head coach, and how much enjoyment he took in that player development mode of having a cycle change each year as Exeter come up to gain their silver medals. Big support travelled up from the southwest as well with them, and yeah, it's something that I know personally as a coach, Louis, and I know this probably speak for yourself as well. I really enjoy the fact that the players are moving and changing all the time. A lot of opportunity to develop players and different dynamics each and every season. And that's what makes books so special, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think these players, they'll be disappointed at losing, but I think they need to just keep in sight the achievement of getting here and coming through the competition. And we have to remember they're students as well. They're doing degrees and they've got a lot of stuff going on at the university, trying to keep all the work, maybe working as well to try and keep themselves with food and stuff like that. And then they're trying to do this as well, and they're playing football as well. So it's a real juggling act for them, but a big achievement to get to this final and to experience this.
Yeah, I remember saying to this, I said it to the Derby men's team last year, and I've said it to these girls recently this week. Remember these moments, because win or lose, they are special, special moments where you can take forward in life. And Maisie Brown injured today. She'll be back next season, leads the team up. She's player of the match, I would say. Emily Brett gains her medal. Maz Lancashire, Ella Hilliard, Abby Littler not got onto court today, but played a big part this season. Evie Lockley, real boxer tricks. They played a really good role in the second half, actually, of going and supporting Emily Brett at times. Juliet Nottingham, Amy Holstrom, two other players who will graduate this year. What a way to finish.
Yeah, we've got players there. Hopefully, we want to see those players in Tier 1. And I said it's going to probably be a theme of mine throughout the day that I really don't think all the best players we're seeing in futsal in this country are playing in Tier 1. And one day, hopefully, we'll get to that where, literally we do have the very best of the best playing at Tier 1 level, earning the right to do that.
We'll just pause for this trophy lift here, but Eleanor Humphrey with a trophy. Brings it across. And Derby are the champions of the Women's Books Trophy for 2023-24. A fantastic achievement by a group of girls I know very well, and a fantastic group of girls they are. And I'd just like to finish with my final point and make a special comment for Hannah Roberts, the coach there. She's almost an unwilling coach, someone who doesn't enjoy doing what she does, but a fantastic coach with it. Someone who's taken up a role through injury more than anything, not able to play because of a really bad knee injury that she suffered playing in the NFS a couple of years ago. This is her last game today. So after this is her sort of coming out of coaching, and there'll be a new coach taking the group on next season. What a fantastic way to bow out, and a fantastic achievement, and from me personally, one that I'm very proud of for her, because I know the work and the stresses and strains that she's put in to one, making herself a better coach, but also to making sure this group have everything they deserve and everything that they need.
Yeah, obviously I was with St Mary's for most of the season, and I did I'm doing a bit of work, and will be with Oxford University, and we came up against Hannah in the cup game against their twos, and what a delightful person. She's a really lovely person, but a knowledgeable coach, and just one of those coaches that you'd like to come up against, because yes, it's about battle of the game, but also they're decent within the game as well. So delighted to see someone have success like that. I know you know her really well, but great performance today, I have to say, from Derby. Emily Brett, what a player, and lots of good performances overall. It's just a shame you're going to have to wait till a bit later to go and join them for a drink.
Oh, that's it, yeah. 2 more games to come here. Bath and Warwick will be on very, very shortly. They're in a 12 o'clock kickoff. So as both teams, well, it'll be slightly later than 12 o'clock. As both teams have their photos, we will leave you for a few moments. It's Derby who are the victors in the Women's Trophy final. Congratulations to them. And stay with us. We'll join you back for the second game of the day very, very soon.
Bucks is back, and it's bigger than ever.
We've got a man in the corner, and it's caught!
Can he hold them off? The roof will be raised in front court.
Like an enemy in the night, mission impossible for 2.
Both teams hungry, desperate to win that title.